Welcome back to the Diecast Museum. Today I am videoing my Matchbox 1964 collection of cars and trucks, most of which were available and sold in 1964. Some were also sold in other years. We'll talk more about that as this video goes. And this is a long overdue video series I will be running starting with 1964, simply because that is the earliest catalog I have, although Matchbox has been made long before 1964, and I do have some examples that we'll look at in this video, just kind of covering the very few that I have that are that old. And this will be running right up until 1990. Now, my collection of Matchbox vehicles is nothing like my Hot Wheels cars that you saw in the Hot Wheels Year by Year. This is a very played with, incomplete collection with only a few mint examples or nice examples of vehicles, but it's still a great trip down memory lane. And I do have at least half of the cars and trucks you'll see in that original 1964 sales brochure, along with the major pack vehicles, the king size vehicles, and just some really cool old toys, all metal, many of which have plastic or rubber tires and a lot of moving parts that made these just some of the best toys a young boy or girl could ever hope to play with through the decades. And to this day, they survive, even the ones that are really beat up and showing their age and the love they've received. I have all of the Matchbox cars that I can find in my collection, other than the models of yesteryear. I seem to have packed those away somewhere and I can't find them. I certainly don't have very many, but we've got this awesome sales brochure showing everything from the 1 through number 75 collectibles, the major packs, play sets, and garages. So we're going to look through this entire manual page by page. And as we do so, I'm going to procure my very best condition model from my collection, and we'll look at it alongside the pictures found in the catalog. All right, so this is going to be an ongoing series. Look forward to more of these. I'm going to try and get one out every week or two. So we've got quite a few videos to make here and a lot of cars to look at. Without further ado, let's get into the 1964 Matchbox review. All right, so I do have some older Matchbox vehicles that are pre-1964. I don't know what year exactly they are from, but they are certainly older, and it's easy to tell because they've got the old gray wheels. As you can see on this king-size tractor, it's got the gray wheels, and Matchbox turned to black wheels for the most part, 1964 and beyond. And those little gray wheels can be found on little tiny things like this horse and buggy sort of apparatus, which I still actually have a horse for, amazingly. And also the other thing that you'll notice about old Matchboxes is just how small they are. I guess Matchboxes were smaller. So we've got these tiny little Matchbox trucks, and that seems to be pretty common. I'm going to turn the camera around. We're going to take a look at what few I have here, and also put them in a side-by-side size comparison to a more standard Matchbox 1 through 75 car. And we'll talk more about those collector numbers as well, because there's quite a little bit of interesting relevance there for you collectors. This should be a little easier to see the size difference of the vehicles I was talking about. So Matchbox definitely got bigger over the years. This was a new model for 1964, the Lincoln Continental with the opening trunk. We'll get to that when appropriate, but as you can see, it has a collector number, series number 31, it says. Now, as the years go on, Matchbox would replace older models with the same collector number with a completely new model, making it slightly confusing to me at first on how to go about putting these in order. That is until I found the catalogs on eBay and started picking up all these vintage catalogs, which I have now complete 1964 through to about 1990. So I don't even know what type of truck this is. It says ERF, I think, on the front. Very old, looks like a 1930s or 40s truck. There's a lot of old military trucks as well. And you can see they've got the old steel axles. General service lorry. Now this one has a collector number. So you can see it says number 62. However, if you go to a 1964 manual, for instance, and go to collector number 62, you're going to see that it's not the right vehicle at all. Number 62 is the TV service van. So that's what I'm talking about. Matchbox changed the vehicles and kept the same collector numbers to always have 1 through 75 in the collection. I don't really know why they did that, but I'm sure someone can explain, or has explained already somewhere on the internet. Number 49, we have the M3 personnel carrier. Now this one is clearly missing the tracks. It probably would have had rubber tracks. And given the age of these vehicles, it's not surprising that those are missing. This one's missing a front axle, some sort of amphibious wartime vehicle. The DUKW, number 55, I believe. Yep. And I do have 2 of those. Both of them strangely missing that front axle. Okay, we've got this little truck here. And that one is a number 15, the Tipax Refuse. Actually, that one is from 1964. Well, not necessarily from 1964, but it is in the 1964 catalog. So we'll just put that one aside. It's in the wrong spot. Here's the smallest truck I have. And this is really quite tiny. Again, using the Lincoln Continental, which is somewhat, 1/70th, 1/75th scale, I guess. Not 1/64th, to be sure. But this truck actually has true little dualies on it. Very crude axles. And it is a Matchbox. Lesney, it says, I should say. Matchbox is the name that was kind of lovingly used. Originally, they were just known as the Lesney vehicles. And here we have the pasteurized milk cart with little wagon wheels. And this would have had some sort of pin that goes through to keep the horse in place. Maybe it's just those 2 little nubs. I don't know, but very rare to find the horse with these played with examples. I do have 2. Not to mention the driver sitting up there as well. Quite a fragile little piece, but clearly has stood the test of time. Now, what collector number would that be? It doesn't actually say. And here we have a very old-looking tractor, missing its tracks. Again, that neat little driver holding onto the gear shifter or track mover, whatever you want to call it. The operation lever. And what have we got here? This one actually has a real spare wheel on the back. Number 15, once again, the rotten off Super Atlantic tractor. Isn't that cool? So that one is replacing number 15 that you're going to see in the catalog. Or I have that backwards. The cleansing service truck is replacing this truck. Quite possibly directly, or perhaps maybe there was another one in between. I don't really know, because I don't know the year that these ones were released. Here's another very small truck. And it is the ERF 686 truck with a collector number 20 on the base. Tiny little wheels. Got this old tank missing its gun on the turret. And of course the tracks. It is a Centurion Mark III tank. No collector number that I can see. And one of the major pack tractors, or king size as they would later be called. This one has seen some serious sandbox play, but it's still going. Made in England by Lesney. It does say king size. Okay. The major pack must be something else. This is collector number 1 of the king size. Weatherbuilt hydraulic shovel. Very cool. I think we've got a smaller version of the Weatherbuilt right here. Yes, we do. Another Weatherbuilt hydraulic. This would be the Matchbox size versus the king size. You can see the detail differences. And this one you're going to see in the catalog. We got number 24. Those little plastic wheels on it. Okay, that's the old stuff. Oh, I also have this interesting Matchbox Garage accessory pack number 3. So maybe we'll find that in the manuals as we go. I haven't looked through all the manuals to see if it's going to show up in later years, but you may see this one again in a future video, should it be released in, say, 1965. But again, for size comparisons, not big enough even to park the Lincoln Continental, but you could park your Atlantic in there, no problem. And now, 1964. Now we're going to start at collector number 1 in the 1964 catalog. One thing I'm going to mention, these cases in the background are just background. This box holds several vehicles. I'm not sure exactly how many, but we'll look at that in 1966. That's when that was released. This one holds 24 cars, and it does not have a copyright on it, so maybe we'll find out by looking at the catalogs. This one is clearly from the 1970s, as you can tell by the array of super fast Matchbox cars on it, and that's a 48 car case. And these are the trays that you would have found in such a case, whereas these ones have cardboard or vinyl spacers. So again, just for your information on the background boxes, in case you were wondering, after we look at the 1 through 75, we're going to look at the king size vehicles that I have, and finish off with whatever else is in this awesome little catalog. Alrighty then, let's see, where the hell are we going to start? Number 1, the Diesel Road Roller. I do not have the Diesel Road Roller. I do have the number 2 Dumper, and I wouldn't be surprised if this Dumper is actually a very old model, maybe the original number 2. It's hard to say, but that is an ancient truck, and if that's a real truck, that would be very interesting to drive. It's got the functional bed on it, and we're not going to look at the base too much because that'll just take excess time. Clearly we're missing a decal, and that is pictured right here in the catalog. Number 3, I don't have number 3. That was the Bedford Tipper truck. Number 4 is the Triumph motorcycle and sidecar. I don't have one of those either. Number 5 is the London bus. Now this one in the catalog has viscostatic British Petroleum on the side. Well, I have a really nice example, but they made so many of these buses with various livery on the side. Mine has British Petroleum and Long Life instead of the viscostatic. So we may have seen this in other years, maybe a following year, but it's a good example to show you. And as we go, I'm not sure if you'll see some of these vehicles again, but I'll try not to spend too much time on them if they make another appearance. Anyways, number 5. Now we go across and down. Number 6 is the 10-wheel Corey truck. Now that's a cool vehicle. I've got a really nice example of the 10-wheel Corey truck right here. And it has the tipping bed on it as well. Really nicely detailed grille. And we do have 10 wheels on this truck as well. It has a different name on the base, the Euclid, number 6. So 10-wheel Corey truck seems a little bit overly descriptive, but not of the actual vehicle's name. I got to be careful with this catalog. I don't want to mangle it. But I do have quite a few of these trucks. It must have been a fairly common piece, and they do tend to be survivors, as you can see. Someone has lovingly replaced, I think, the wheels on one of these trucks. Maybe not that one. This one's seen some serious roll time. Yeah, look at this one's got a wheel. It's all bent. Very played with. Values on Matchbox vehicles, I am not certain, so I don't really want to comment too much on valuation, but I can certainly make note of what seems to be rare and harder to find. So that number 2 seems to be a harder one to find. The buses are pretty easy, even though I only have one here. These trucks are common. Number 7 is the Ford Anglia. I'm pretty sure this is the car we would see in the Harry Potter movies as well. Yes, it is. Now mine is roasted, has almost no original paint left on it, top or bottom. And I do have 2 examples. This one seems to be slightly worse, having the windows cracked and caved in on it. The number 8 Caterpillar tractor I don't have. Number 9 is the Fire truck. I do have 3 examples of that one, but none with the ladder, and certainly not in very good condition. But it's still a neat piece nonetheless. Here's the other 2 I've got. This one is just missing all of the paint, but look at all the window pillars on this model. It's really quite something. Strong little models. Number 10 is the Sugar Container Truck with the Tate and Lyle livery on the side. I don't have one of those. A Road Tanker, I'm missing that as well. Land Rover, missing. Wreck Truck. I do have the Wreck Truck, and not bad condition either. In fact, mine still has the hook and the decal on the side. Breakdown Service Truck. Now, the grille appears to have been painted silver, most likely from the factory. And on the bottom, again, we have more information about the actual truck. This is a Thames Trader Wreck Truck. A Thames, so that's a British truck, I do believe. And yeah, here's another one. It's got the silver on the grill once again. No hook on that one. So we know that that is how they came. And okay, where are we going now? The Ambulance. Now this one does appear to be a fairly common casting as well. Number 14 Ambulance with LCC sticker on the side. And it has a functioning little door at the back with pretty decent details inside as well. See, there's a gurney in there and some bench seating. So that's a nice little model. Again, silver painted grille. And I've got two in really nice condition, as well as four more that are played with. The door's missing on one, and we've almost lost the entire base on another, as well as a repaint. But a sturdy model, just like many of the Matchbox vehicles. And after that, we've got the number 15 Refuse Truck, which we saw right at the beginning of this video with the cleansing service sticker on the side. And you can actually open up the rear part to access the cleansing tank, if you will. And this truck, as we found out, is called a Tipax Refuse Collector. And it actually has true dualies on the back as well. So pretty cool. Another common casting, as I've got three more. I'm only going based on how many I have, and really I've just kind of come across these at flea markets or had some sent to me through the mystery boxes from Stephen and Peter. But most of these I've just kind of come across them. If I see them at somewhere for cheap, store or a flea market or whatever, I'll pick them up. But I don't really know the true value of all of these vehicles, and I know some people are diehard Matchbox enthusiasts the way I am with the Hot Wheels. Anyways, we're doing the best we can with this awesome little catalog. Number 16, Mountaineer Dump Truck with Snowplow. Interesting, also has the length, inches and in millimeters. And so this one is a nice condition model. Still has the sticker on the front. It might be paint, actually. And the tipping rear bed. Really old truck. And does it actually have the name of it? Yes, it is a Scammell snowplow. So that's pretty cool. I like that the actual name of the vehicle is included. And the part that is often missing on this truck, of course, is the snowplow, as we can see on these other two that I have. Which brings us to another very common model, and that is the Hoveringham 8-wheel tipper, collector number 17. I've got about 9 of these things here. Now, this one doesn't have the sticker on the side saying Hoveringham, but most of them do. It's got the flap and a tilting bed. Now, all the dump trucks use the same pin and curved metal slider that goes into a plastic receiver. Works quite nicely. It's got good friction to hold the tipper up. Oh, unless, of course, it's so worn out and the pin is missing, in which case this happened here. Somehow we've still kept it all together. Hoveringham, as you can see, on the side. This one's definitely a bit more played with, and as you can see, I've got quite a few of these trucks in various states of disrepair, but most of them are in pretty good condition, surprisingly. Number 18 is the Caterpillar Bulldozer. Now, this one is in rough shape. I don't have the tracks on it anymore. It looks a lot like the tractor that we saw that is an older version, but it is not the same tractor. And you can see it says Caterpillar on the bottom. So it looks like it would have come with green tracks back in the day. Number 19, the Aston Martin racing car. I don't have that. These wheels appear to be something newish. We'll see those more in the coming years on many of the other Matchbox cars. This realistic kind of spoked wheel design with plastic tires. Number 20 is the 8-wheel open truck. I don't have one of those. That'd be another really small truck and probably an older model. Number 21 is the milk delivery truck. Now, I do have that truck, thankfully, because it is really cool. So, there it is. Milk delivery truck. And you can see all those little bottles represented by the plastic molding inside. It still has the drink more milk signage up on the roof. And a cow on the door. Moo! Okay, so we got the milk van. I only have one of those, so it must be kind of a harder one to come by. Number 22 is the Vauxhall Cresta. I don't have the Vauxhall Cresta, nor do I have the Caravan trailer. We do have the hydraulic excavator, as we saw in the start of this video. Number 24. Now, this one has the driver with the hard hat on it. Quite nice details. And the tipping bucket. Older versions of this tractor have the gray wheels, so this one's probably been around since the early 60s, maybe even the late 50s. And then, as you can see, as the mid-60s came out, we went to the black plastic wheels, of which I have several examples with the black plastic wheels. And played with examples will often have the shovel broken off and missing, although this one still has the pin. So that's pretty neat. Other than the gray wheels, no differences between this and the 1964 version. The Volkswagen Sedan, or Volkswagen Beetle, with an opening rear engine lid. I don't have that one. Number 26 is the Ready Mix cement truck. I have a lot of these, and two in really fine condition. So here we have it, unrestored, but minty original condition. And this truck is a Foden, number 26 cement mixer, and it's got a turning, another stiffly turning apparatus cement mixer. This one's got a few chips, turns a little easier. Plastic, so susceptible to breakage, but even these very played with versions still have theirs on them. And then I've got a handful of ones that Pops must have stepped on because they're all broken. Just nub on this one and half a cement mixer on that one. A couple that have been soaking in battery acid or a flooded basement for decades. And then we come to the Cadillac sedan. There it is. So very bright purple imagery here. And this one is another old model. As I said, it's got the gray wheels on it, so that's pretty indicative of it. It's a very small casting too. Again, going to the new model for 1964 being the Lincoln Continental, which you'll see at the end of this 1 through 75. You can see the difference in just the sedans. So that's kind of the course that Matchbox took. Okay, now we're looking at a Jaguar. Oh, we still got some more in this tray. Never mind. Okay, the Jaguar Mark 10. There it is. Now, it's pictured blue here with an opening hood. Suspension. Some nice suspension components. Now, I have two here. One's been hand-painted very crudely. And it is missing the hood and all of its original paint. So I don't even know what color that one would have been. I have this one that's like a champagne gold color. It's the same car. And it does have that suspension, as well as a really nicely opening hood, I believe. Oh, you're right, of course. It opens this way. So, nice original paint job on this one. Big trailer hitch for pulling the caravan. But, of course, it's gold, and the one pictured is blue. So, I imagine this one may have been re-released in several different colors over the years. And either that, the artwork here is just generic. It's interesting that some of the cars started to get suspension around that time, though. Number 29 is the Austin Cambridge. Nice little four-door sedan. I don't have any of those, and I don't have any of the six-wheel cranes. Number 30. I thought I did. I might find some later on, but I've been looking high and low, and I can't find any. So, 31 is the Ford station wagon. Another really nice model that I don't have. 32 is the Type E Jaguar. I have a couple of these, and here again are those interesting spoke wheels. Maybe not exactly the same, but just a really nice model. And no suspension on this one, but good rolling wheels. I've got two versions of this one. Well, two conditions of the same version, I should say. Only one version. The Ford Zephyr is number 33. Got a really nice condition one right here. Right-hand drive, you'll note. Little tiny metal trailer hitch on this one, not that big plastic one we saw on the Jaguar. And that's a nice little model. Now this one here is my junkyard version. Serious playwear, but still functioning. That brings us to number 34, the Volkswagen camping van with two opening doors. It looks to be a pale green in this picture. I have one that's silver, and the sunroof looks a little different. So I'm not sure if this is exactly the right van for this catalog model year. And again, if it isn't, we may see it in a future video where it's more obviously a silver one. But as you can see, I'm missing one door, and my interior is orange versus like green or black. Nice model, though. I was happy to find that one. 35 is the Horse box truck. Now, this is going to be a hard one to find in good condition because I believe that's a plastic box portion, so it probably will be shattered on almost all played with versions that you come across. I don't have anything of that example. I don't have the Labretta scooter and sidecar either, although I've seen one for sale. They're really a die cast. It makes me kind of think I should have picked it up. I think they want a few bucks for it, though. 37, Coca-Cola truck. Don't have that one. 38 is the Vauxhall Victor estate car. Now, that one I do have, thankfully, because it is a neat little model with an opening hatch. And there it is. And it also has a trailer hitch. Red interior. Really nice lines on this car. And yeah, they're just really neat when you get a nice little handful of the old sedans together. More than anything, I think. The trucks are cool too, but the sedans are awesome. Pontiac convertible. Well, I have that one minus the windshield and 50% of its paint. Still a neat model, and definitely an older one, much like the Cadillac sedan. This is a small casting, so most likely going to be replaced by a new collector model for the number 29 in pretty short order. And same true for the number 40 long distance bus. Very neat. Now this one is hand painted, at least most of it is, but you can still see what an interesting long distance bus this is. It's even got like the fins on the back. I mean, what a time. The Royal Tiger Coach, it's called, more specifically. And it would have been a nice baby blue. Number 41, Jaguar racing car. Don't have that one. 42, newspaper delivery truck. I don't have that one either. 43, the Aveling Barford tractor shovel. I don't have that one. Rolls Royce, number 44. Don't have that one. 45, Vauxhall Victor. I don't have that one. I promise you I'll have some more here, but I just don't have any of those ones. Number 46, the long distance removal truck. Well, I do have that one. And this also looks to be a very old model, 1930s or 40s sort of truck, probably from Great Britain. Now this one still has the roll-up door on it. Most of the sticker is intact. Oh yeah, it does work. That's as far as I'm going to go with it, because I'm sure it is fragile. And we've got the removal, stoopers. It is a Pickford cargo van. The Lions Made Ice Cream mobile shop with the salesperson in the back. This one's in really good condition. And it's got that nice little skylight so you can see right in. A little ice cream cone in the person's hand. Very nicely detailed. And it's called the Calmer Ice Cream Canteen, more specifically. And this is a fairly common casting, it would seem, as I have 3 more in various conditions. It appears all of the other ones are missing the ice cream cone from the attendant's hand. Probably just broke off being such a small part. But this one being in such good condition did not. And this one here we may see in a future catalog because it's a different color. Same van, but the attendant is completely gone. So probably was intended still to be there, but no longer. So I just thought I'd bring that one out because I'm not really sure if we'll see it again. And if we don't, then it was likely from a previous year, not a latter year. Number 48 was the Sports Boat and Trailer. I've seen this trailer around here and there. I don't have one personally, but I've never seen the boat. Number 49, Military Personnel Carrier. I don't have that one, and if I did, it wouldn't have the tracks. Number 50 is the Tractor. Well, I do have that, and you can see an outline of the trailer. Now, my wheels will go on, but as is common with these old Matchbox and plastic tires, the rims shrink and or the tires expand, or they just get loose from play wear. But even ones that aren't played with, I will find very loose, so I'm quite fortunate that it still has the wheels on it. It is missing the steering wheel on this model. Number 50, Matchbox Series. Doesn't have a specific name on it, but luckily I have a donor. However, the steering wheel on this one is pretty mangled, hanging on for dear life. There's the trailer. So I don't have the trailer, and I guess it would have come with the accessory barrels. Probably the rarest thing in this catalog at this point. 52, Maserati racing car. 53, Mercedes-Benz 220S. Well, I have several Mercedes-Benz 220S, but not collector number 53. So this is an older model with the old gray wheels, and the ones I have suspension and the new black wheels. So it seems to have had a collector number change. Probably in the next couple of years, we're going to see that in an upcoming video. Brings us to the 54 Saracen Troop Carrier, I think. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but we got one in decent condition here. Very nice condition, actually. And specifically, what does it say on it? Same thing. Personnel carrier. 6 wheels. All right. Now, the police car I don't have, number 55. I don't have the London trolley bus, number 56. Nor do I have the 57, collector number 57, Chevrolet Impala. The 58 Draught Excavator I do have, and this one is in fantastic condition. Thanks to Stephen and Peter for sending me this, along with several Matchbox vehicles over the years. And with the original tracks, I'm not even going to try to turn them because they're probably so old. Very low flexibility left, although it's still there. Still see a little bit of flexibility. And yeah, there you go. Very uncommon to find it in this condition. That being with the tracks. More often, it'll look something like this. No tracks. Now, this one has a brighter orange paint job and a silver engine. Likely a later model produced years later, perhaps. It also had the base was painted silver versus the orange base on this original. So this one, who knows what year it came out, but collector number 58 is still the same collector number. So we'll likely see re-releases of many popular castings, just as we did in the Hot Wheels for the year-by-year videos. I do not have the Fire Chief car, which appears to be the same model as the police car. I do have number 60, the Morris pickup truck with the Builder's Supply Company missing on mine. Mine appears to have been either repainted at some point or it's worn off. It does appear to me that it has been touched up with blue paint and someone has painted the headlights but not the grille, as was commonly from the factory. The grills came silver on many of these older models, and this will be an old model likely to be replaced fairly soon in the next few years. The Morris J2 pickup, it's called specifically. those little gray wheels. And this one doesn't even have an interior. It's so simple. Could have been rebuilt, though, by a collector or restorer at some point. Number 61, we're going to trade trays here. Trade trays. Trade. I've got 2 of this version. No, that's not it. So I don't have number 61. Sorry. The 62 TV service van. I don't have that. 63 military ambulance. I do have that one. Another really old model because it's a small truck. So same story as the little pickup. Service ambulance. Ford 3-ton 4x4. Very capable World War II era truck. 64 is the 6-wheel military crane truck. Well, that's what you need to get out of a 4x4 truck. This is a cool old model too. I like this model a lot. A lot of nice details on it. Mine's missing the hook. It is a Scammell breakdown truck, it says here. And I've got a couple of them. This one's got some shiny axle pins on it. Well, I guess they both do. Just shined up a little bit. Sturdy little rig. And sharp. You wouldn't want to step on this thing. 65 is the Jaguar 3.8 sedan. I don't have that vehicle. And 66. Well, that's the Harley-Davidson motorcycle and sidecar. I don't have that. 67 is the Saladin armored car. Saladin? It's a funny name. Mine has been lovingly painted by someone with some matte black to give it a camo look. Still has the turret, which is pretty cool. Otherwise, this would have been in fantastic condition. It might even have been shined up with some different color of green on top. I think so. Because as it came from the Lesney factory, it should have been a matte finish. Obviously, the gun has been broken off on this particular model. And it's still running. Still rolling and turning. 68 military radio truck. I do not have that one. 69 is the Nestle's delivery truck. Don't have that one. 70 is the Ford estate car. Well, I have a really nice example of this one. And it appears to be all original. Still got the silver on the grill. And yeah, that's an older model as well. There's no interior. These old models don't have interiors necessarily. The Thames estate car. So pretty cool. 71 is the Jeep pickup truck with opening doors. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a newish model. Not one of the new models for 1964, but I'll bet you it came out like 1963 or something. Given that not very many of the old vehicles, actually none, have the suspension. This one actually doesn't have any suspension, interestingly. Very fragile little doors, but they have held on all these years. Another really cool little truck. Interesting assembly. It's got a patent number on it. Jeep Gladiator. There is an original Jeep Gladiator for you. Looks a lot different than the Jeep Gladiators being made today. Very cool. So I've got 2 here, and neither one of them have any real suspension. That's barely any suspension, if any at all. 72, the Fordson tractor. Looks to be a navy blue with red wheels. I don't have that one. Don't have the Ferrari racing car. I don't have the mobile refreshment bar. And I don't have the Ford Thunderbird. So that'll be a no, and a few yeses. The new Matchbox series. So we're going to go through this carefully. These are the new models, as you can see with the little blue star. There is the Lincoln Continental we've been talking about so much. From time to time, new models will be introduced to replace withdrawn items. Just a few future introductions are shown here, and some other new models which are to be available soon are already included in this catalog. Wasn't that interesting? So, I have a really nice BP tanker. Whoa, let's keep it nice. Right there. And it's got the cab over illustration. This clever little pin right through the side of it. The interior is still there, and look at that. You can even drop the interior down. And of course, you got the engine right where it should be. Such a cool little model. Original stickers on it. Original condition. The petrol tanker. Number 25. Now, I do have one that isn't quite that nice, so I might as well just show it to you now. There it is. The interior is missing, and that is a typical terrible condition vehicle, but still functional. Still probably restorable even. We also have the firefighting crash tender. Now, this is a cool model. Mine is missing the hoses and ladder off the roof, but it actually has a plastic airport crash tender signage on the side. It's installed with little pins. So this is an original condition vehicle. Lots of nice details. You can see the C is just hanging on there. Either I got caught on something. 6-wheel. The Foamite crash tender, it's called officially. And there you can see, when missing, you got those 3 pinholes where the lettering used to be. So pretty common to be missing parts. And here is one that is just roasted as well. Still original paint though on those. And of course we've got the Snow Track Tractor. Right there, Snow Track. Now I'm missing the treads. Would have been really neat because they go up around all 6 wheels. So it would have been like a compound kind of curved tread with good little idler wheel details. Very interesting model. And that is officially the Snow Track. We've also got the Jumbo Crane, which has been also made into a king-size vehicle, which you'll see in a moment. But here is the Jumbo Crane with hook. Now mine has a red portion on here, which appears to be original, and the hook is red, so probably a different year release, but still the same collector number, which is 11, so I assume that replaces number 11, whichever one that was. This one has been repainted, so probably was red as well. In fact, all the ones that I have red, so I guess that means I don't have the original version. The Lincoln Continental comes in a few shades of blue, and here it is at last. Probably one of my favorite castings of 1964. Opening trunk is a rare gem on a little toy diecast car. No real suspension to speak of. Just great sharp casting lines and details. Nice clear windows and detailed interior. And a fairly common casting. It's come out a few times, for sure. These ones probably are all the same, although there's slight variations in the blue. And then to complete my roasted collection, I have these two, which have like a very aqua type blue. So quite different looking. They're not the metallic blue that I've seen on the ones that are in better condition. And certainly quite difficult to tell because of the amount of paint loss. But both of these cars having the same color blue tell me this must have been a color available at some point. I'm just not sure when. And the trunks are susceptible to damage when played with this heavily. That completes the 1 through 75 collection. So we're just going to go on through the rest of this manual, which has a few pages. Matchbox Gift Series Sets, number G1 to G3. I'm not going to name everything because I don't have these, but a lot of these are like cardboard box sets with vehicles that could be found in the 1 through 75 series. Some of them include a king-size truck or a whole bunch of king-size vehicles. Farming set. I think those are king-size. They might not be, though, actually. Major packs, they're called. And we've got some more series gift sets. Looks like a Grand Prix racing set with stand. These are certainly king-size vehicles in here. So I've got a few of them. That green tractor down the bottom, that's this guy right here. The Aveling Barford. We'll look at it in a second, though, because these are all sold individually and listed individually where you can actually see them a little better. But there's some construction sets. Some not shown. Military vehicle set not shown. Interesting. And there's some more commercial trucks. British Petroleum gas station and service garage. That's pretty neat. The Matchbox fire station. And there is some veterans vintage sets. So those are models of yesteryear, which I have a few of those packed away somewhere. Which, now we're at the Matchbox series major packs. Numbers M1 to M7. I don't have any of these particular vehicles. Actually, none of them. However, I do have some of these on the next few pages, including the car transporter with the Farnborough Measham car auction collector. And there it is. I've got a few old fired vehicles on it, but there is the Farnborough Measham car auction truck. Mine is in really nice condition. I am missing the back blue ramp, unfortunately, and one gray wheel, which are pretty easy to buy aftermarket, so you can put them on there, but this does not come apart. It's not supposed to anyways. And this should stay up, but I'm missing the pin. It goes across the back. Probably why the ramp is missing entirely, because whatever was, obviously the pin was holding that part on. So it's a little difficult for cars to get up onto my crippled truck, but it's still displayable and certainly looks better from the other side. You can get quite a few cars on here, 4 by the looks of it. Crunch! Oh dear. Anyway, so we have that truck. And I have the trailer, one of the trailers for the Interstate Double Freighter, the Cooper Jarrett Inc. I have the rear trailer only. What a shame. I don't have any of the rest of it. This is a heavy, heavy box trailer, all die-cast. Big dualies, really nicely detailed. And also probably wasn't meant to come apart, but long since lost the better half. And we have some new Matchbox major packs. The Dinkum rear dumper. The Dinkum rear dumper. I don't have a Dinkum rear dumper, unfortunately, in my collection. And I do have the Fruhoff Hopper train, but mine is red. This one's green. It has a lot of functionality, and I'm pretty sure I'm saving that one for a upcoming year-by-year video where it will be shown as red. I don't know if this one actually came in green or if that was a color that was then changed officially to red. So we may have to revisit that truck if I don't see it in the next catalog, which I haven't looked ahead on either. But I do have a really nice version of that. It's quite common, so I've also got some very played with ones as well. There's a larger version of the Hoveringham truck. We saw that with the little casting, but this is the king size, and it shows it has suspension, so that would be a neat model. And there is the Muir Hill dumper. That looks a lot like the number 2 dumper, but without a cab, doesn't it? It looks to be almost the same. Not quite. But again, I don't have that in king size. The tractor, Caterpillar Bulldozer tractor, I have that one. You can tell by the red engine. They have produced models similar to this one. Missing the tracks and the front. It's a D9 Caterpillar. And here's another one. So clearly, Sandbox toys. I don't have the International tractor, and wait till you see my dump truck. The Fodden tipper truck, and this is all that's left of my Fodden tipper truck, unfortunately. It is just destroyed. So it has definitely had an entire life in the sandbox, and probably whipped across a parking lot or two. Another really cool model is this Alice Chalmers Earth Scraper. Now this one I have in not bad condition. Thankfully, it's quite a cool piece. And check it out. It's got like a real functionality, real scraping ability. Let's see if we can focus on that. You can see those springs allow this. If you were in a sandbox, you can, just like the real deal, you could scoop up your sand or material in the hopper here. I'm sure there's a different name for it, but what a neat piece. Certainly very cool. And what does it say on the bottom of this one? Anything official? Alice Chalmers motor scraper. Lovely details. The Curtis Wright rear dumper. Don't have that. Just these iconic old tractors. And then we've got the prime mover and transporter with the Caterpillar trailer. So this one would have come tractor with one of these. So that would have been a big box set to get this truck and the trailer. And that is the K8. I do have the truck, but it is rough. Lang on the sides. Engineering contractors. Missing half of the tires. I do have a spare, so not quite half the tires. But it is in rough condition. Either way, it's nice to have an example. The Diesel Road Roller, I don't have that. And there it is, the Aveling Barford tractor shovel. Mine is missing the interior, which has fallen out a long time back, I suppose. And someone handy has kept it alive just long enough to keep the shovel on with the piece of wire bent through where clearly a pin is missing. But otherwise, the tractor is still fairly complete, including the front Alice Chalmers sticker. And the shovel. Another neat old tractor. Those big gray wheels. Missing a pin on the bottom too. Still a good toy. Another tractor I'm missing is the Fordson tractor farm trailer. So you can see they've created, Matchbox created a lot of king-size versions of their smaller vehicles. The heavy breakdown wreck truck, British Petroleum. I do have that truck and it's in decent condition. This one has the gray wheels and mine has the red wheels. So it could be a slightly later version. I do believe the red wheels replaced the gray wheels over time. Matchbox service. And it's still got the hook too, which is nice. Tires are holding on. Heavy vehicles. The Ready Mix cement mixer. Well, there again, we've seen that one in the small version, and there it is in the big version. The king size version. Not exactly the same, different grills. But a few different things. Very similar, mind you. Anyways, this king size still has the original stickers on it. Big, heavy, metal cement mixer with a chute. And ready-mix concrete truck is all it says. It is an ERF. And it is heavy. The jumbo crane. Okay, so we have the jumbo crane. Again, a bigger version of the little one. Here is the jumbo crane. And you can see this. Whoa, careful. This is the size difference between the two. And some better details, including the sunroof. The sunroof. Nice details across the front at one point. And yeah, that one is still actually in good condition other than missing some paint. Still functional, even holds some resistance for that crane. All right. New Matchbox series king size. So once again, from time to time, new models will be introduced or replaced with drawn items. 2 future introductions are shown here. Okay, so I don't have that dump truck. That is a very cool looking dump truck. I do have the Merryweather fire engine, and it is also quite complete. Although it is it missing? Oh no, it's not. Okay, so it is very complete still. I've got the extension ladder, which really is quite a long ladder, as you can see, and still holding friction. Isn't that neat? Now that's a plastic ladder too, so I'm not sure if that's original. It probably is. I'm gonna be careful with it. And some nice details on it. It's missing one of the sirens, which would be a metal, almost like a brass piece. Got the brass fire control here. Kent Fire Brigade, number 15. So this, again, bigger version of the small Kent Fire Brigade truck. These ones appear to be an actual very close match. Not quite the same again, though. We've got a different back on this little one. And there you go, the Merryweather. That was a new model for 64. I do have another cement mixer here, actually. Look at that. So there's the original gray wheels, and then the replacement red wheels. Just backing up a step here. I forgot that was sitting over there to my left, out of view. Models of yesteryear. Well, I mean, they are larger. They're almost like the size of a king size, but they are cars. Other than the Y4 1905 Shand Mason horse-drawn fire engine. Well, I think I have something similar. Kent Fire Brigade. So I have two. One says London Fire Brigade, one says Kent Fire Brigade. And there are some nice brass components on it. Metal wheels, metal wagon wheels. Quite sturdy feeling, actually. Let's get this manual out of the way. And of course, I'm missing the horse and the drivers. Horses. These would have horses. Non-steerable front wheels. Look at these old vehicles from yesteryear. Very cool. We even got a motorcycle. 1914 Sunbeam. Another horse-drawn carriage. 1899 London horse bus. Just some really neat things, including old trains. The 1862 General locomotive. The 1903 Duke of Connaught locomotive. A couple new models of yesteryear. And then finally, we're in the last few pages here. Matchbox Fire Station MF1. Check it out. Made in tough plastic with working double doors, fireman's pole and authentic multicolored transfers. Supplied completely assembled in a new full-colored giant matchbox. Available soon. Ambulance series station. Oh, isn't that neat? And then we've got the British Petroleum Matchbox Sales and Service Station. Looks like just the back half of that wrecker truck. Showroom on 2 floors, forecourt for pumps, greasing ramp, incline from ground to first level. And now we have the Matchbox Roadway number R1. Brightly printed full color on top quality card. This model features a main highway with bridge, bypass, car park, link road, and 3-dimensional stand-up cutouts. Scale for all Matchbox models. Not shown. And then here we have the Matchbox Road Series R4. So I'm not sure exactly what the material was, but cardboard perhaps. And I don't know that these cars are pictured on it, or if you put your own cars on it. It's hard to really know. Complete with more colored cardboards. And that's it. 1964 U.S. retail prices. So these little Matchbox vehicles would have run you, numbers 1 through 75 is the collector number, 49 cents each. And then the larger ones range from anywhere between 75 cents right up to $2. Gift packs, gift sets, up to $7.50. King size series were only 75 cents to at most $3.50. That's probably the truck with the trailer and the tractor. But otherwise, $1.50 got you this back in 1964. Accessories, 59 cents up to $3. Models of yesteryear, 75 cents to $1.25. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this format. It's a long video, but it's a lot of vehicles to look at when looking at an entire year of Matchbox. And can you imagine how long it would be if I had every one in my collection? Sadly, that is not something I look to pursue. I'm happy with what I have and what I can find in the wild. And I encourage you to do the same. Go out there, look for your old Matchbox cars, and just relish in knowing how long these things can survive. Happy hunting.